We are very, very fortunate to have Supreme Teacher, Supreme Father, Supreme Sadguru in our lives. We experience unadulterated, pure, unlimited love from our Father, teachings which help us to create elevated actions and earn our fortune for many, many births. Our characters are reformed and our thinking becomes elevated. And then Sadguru Baba guides us at every step, gives us Shrimad so that we don't get in the bondage of actions, but we can do Karma Yoga, Seva to create our future and also elevated present life. So all the time in our remembrance, there is love for Supreme Father, Teacher, Sadguru. He also plays the role of a friend. Any relationship we want to experience. So my heart is full of love for Baba. And I feel so fortunate to be guided by Baba's teachings at every step in my life. So now with lot of love, I take Drishti from Baba and keep my intellect free from all other thoughts. Just one Baba. So I take all the treasures, all the love from Baba.
Om Shanti. Welcome to Avyakti Parivar. Today's day 8. Self-Sovereignty. Title is Supreme Teacher of Raja Yoga. Elevated Sanskar Raj Rishi. Now we'll be listening from Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti. You all must be having new and beautiful experiences every day, especially for today. Our practice was to keep courage and experience God's help. I think that today you must have taken some determination or have some elevated thoughts which required courage. Sometimes we get good thought, elevated thought, and then we say, no, I don't think I can do. It's not possible. It's not practical. Sometimes we say it's not practical. But actually, if it's an elevated thought and we feel that it's important for self progress or it could be for Baba's service, then keep that thought. Keep that thought because you will get Baba's help. This is what my experience had been all the time. That today also a few small situations came in my mind, and looking at what is happening in the world outside, so many natural calamities, so much flooding, and here also it was big storm and rain. So it's a different kind of energy. But immediately when I thought, well, Baba is with us, Baba is our companion, and always reminding that my life is for Baba. Yes, I have to be precaution, like take care, but Baba's help is always there. With Baba's help, whether it is body, the healing happens very fast. Mind remains stable and strong. And if there are any subtle energies which are not very good, especially when there are gray days, like today, a lot of different energies can be felt. But if I remind myself that what I have to be, always, always most elevated energy, and then I find Baba's help is there. So, of course, it is for the task, but also for my own personal growth. Baba's help is constantly there. So, we sit on our throne of self sovereignty and see how many times during day mind's thoughts were not very powerful. We change them, check and change, and make them elevated. Same is with the intellect. By using the elevated sanskar of courage, we are able to receive all the help from Baba. And what we will be doing tomorrow, thinking of Baba, one who is supreme teacher. One thing I in my life always really, really appreciated from my heart that Baba is number one teacher, supreme teacher. Just imagine what he's not teaching us about the soul, about the nature, about karmas, about relationships, helping to mold our life in such a beautiful way with good fortune, good character, good relationships. And actually, in those teachings, there is so much wisdom because you have heard the word hermits, sannyasis. Then there are hatha yogis. There are yogis, but we are, Baba is teaching us Raj Yoga, sovereign yoga, yoga which makes us sovereign. And that's what we're doing now, self-sovereignty. But also what we're becoming is Raj Rishi. Now, there are hermits, there are gurus, But the word rishi is a very royal word. It's a very much highly respectable. It's a very, very, uh, dignified kind of spiritual leadership. In all the kingdoms, there are different kinds of advisors, but the main person is the Raj Rishi. Raj means kingdom. So in that kingdom, there is always one or two rishis where king will consult wherever he will take advice from different kinds of advisors. But final word, which is word of wisdom, will come from Raj Rishi. And actually, Raj Rishis are not only very royal in the sense of, sometimes like they won't interfere in anything, but whenever the king wants any advice, Raj Rishi is able to give that because Raj Rishi is supposed to have knowledge of all three aspects of time, deep secrets of life, like almost knows everything. So the advice which is given is not just political or social, but it's advice where the way kingdom is operated, how to take care of the subjects. It's like all the topics connected with king and kingdom. He has knowledge of all that, Raj Rishi. So when Baba says, I am the teacher of Raj Yoga, I teach you Raj Yoga. And Raj Yoga really means sovereign yoga or yoga which makes you king of kings. I think at present also we do feel, right, that I have capacity, ruling capacity, because that's what my own ruling and controlling power, which is I am gaining through practice of Raj Yoga. And Baba says, as a teacher, I teach you and give you main lesson of Manmanabhav. Remember me. And it's so elevated for me. Anytime I'm not clear, I got stuck, I have too many, like what to do. Finally, I just remember Baba, Manmanabhav. And another is, Ma may come. I come to your asylum. I'm under your canopy. So Manmanabhav and Ma may come. It's not anyone can say Manmanabhav, remember me, then what? But here is Almighty God. He is unlimited, like ocean bestower. Actually, in Path of Bhakti, there are at least more than 1,000 names of Shiv Baba. Lord of Innocent, Lord who gives us the nectar, Lord who grants liberation to us. So many. All those are divine acts of Baba. But to find such a teacher, so we need to have not only love for studies, but we study to become Raj Rishi. That means gaining wisdom from the knowledge. And that's possible as much you apply knowledge. Mm. When you apply knowledge, then what comes in you is wisdom. It's not just understanding of knowledge, listening of knowledge, but applying of knowledge. And Baba's Murli is actually what Baba's teachings are. It's so interesting that Baba as teacher, as the seed of the tree, so incognito. When we know what God's task is to transform us, transform the world, it's not visible how that task is being taken care of. But Baba's energy, Baba's pure energy, Baba's powers help support all of us, but also the task of transformation. My heart and our heart is full of love for Baba, but respect for Baba is to not only listen to knowledge, but become good example. Because Baba says, knowledgeful father, as teacher, never charge you fee. So we're not paying fee to father, right? When we came to USA, I think in all countries, when we start giving courses, first thing people will ask, what is the fee? What are the charges? And we say no charge is free. They won't believe it because who teaches free? And then, of course, whatever seva we do through body, through wealth, or teaching others is creating our fortune. Because everyone does some charitable actions. So we are also doing charity so that our brothers and sisters can take benefit. When I went Madhuban first time with small gathering, 20 of us from outside visitors. And of course there was big family there. So there were no buildings, was no comfort, nothing. So there were less expenses. And then more people start coming, they need building. And Baba says all these buildings are for children. Mhm. And then we understood it. And I remember we used to feel so happy. Baba, from our center, we want, from our center, we want to build a small meeting room or one room. And this way, from all over, everyone would like to contribute towards construction. And now it's huge, right? Unlimited. Because everyone's bodies and when they travel, they need better facility. Whether clean place, cooking, good kitchen. So naturally, there are a lot of expenses, no? But that's not the fee. But that's called our seva. We do it for our fortune, and we are the ones who use it. No? Hospitality of Madhuban, Sevadaris, Nivasis, they all serving us when we go. So it's not Baba is taking or we are giving to Baba. Baba says, what will I do? I don't even have my body. But we are unlimited family. So we all share together in whatever way we can do to sustain the yagya and unlimited family. It's really, really, if we think it's something very unique. So the way Baba is teaching us, we are becoming Raj Rishis. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. So now I would like to invite Sister Gayatri to guide us for tomorrow's homework.
Om Shanti, everyone. And so before we go into tomorrow's homework, I'm sure you had very good experiences of today's homework and experimenting with it according to Baba's Murli and getting benefit from those deeper points that he raised in relation to the mind, intellect, and the sanskaras. Today, I'm going to be featuring an experience, and it is an experience that was shared from not yesterday, not today's Murli, but of the Murli of the 27th. And it is quite an interesting experience. So I thought to share it so that everyone can understand how deeply Baba's Murli takes us into the soul and actually prepares the soul in the most wonderful way. So here is the featured experience for today. Thank you for the Check and Change project that you have started. What I am enjoying is you preparing us for what to expect and or look for in the next day's Murli. I'm sharing with you what transpired in me as I was experimenting with the aspect of the fear of death as spoken by Baba in the November 27th Murli and as discussed by you during the November 26th evening session. You're welcome to share it with the group if you do wish to. Death has always intrigued me, and I always look forward to listening to what Baba has to say about it in the Murlis. And inspired by you, I studied the Murli of the 27th of November deeply. Baba has indeed reminded us about the golden age or future being the land of immortality, where untimely death doesn't happen, and therefore freedom from the fear of death. I'm finding that freedom of death, for that matter, fear. So I am finding that fear of death, and for that matter, fear of anything, originates from the unknown or not knowing enough about what we are afraid of. Slowly but surely, I'm beginning to understand and appreciate the true purpose of death. To see it as a punctuation, just like a sentence gets its meaning because of the punctuations, life gets its meaning because of death. Meanwhile, I also saw that Baba talked a lot about the benefits and the practice of bodilessness in the Murli as well. The past several years, I have practiced this with sincerity and have found that the practice of bodilessness in all its practicality is a practice of death. And the more I become good at being bodiless, the better I would be at dying. Easier for me to leave my body at the final moments. As I ventured deeply into the Murli, I found that Baba mentions that bodilessness will help us become pure, free from the burden of our sins. This per se will enable an easier transition from the body. In this way, Baba gives us a double-pronged approach to conquering the fear of death. I feel grateful to Baba that he has transformed me from someone who was suffering from an agonizing fear of death to someone who is not only not afraid of death now, but someone who is ready to welcome death when it decides to knock on my door. Meanwhile, over the years, Baba's Murlis have helped me understand that the quality of my death depends entirely on the quality of my life. And so if I want my death to be not just painless, but rather be a beautiful experience, I need to love my life meaningfully, every day, every moment, doing the best I can and serving from my heart. If I can make my life so meaningful and full and wholesome, neither do I need to rush towards death, nor do I need to run away from it. This was written by Brother Shwetank, who is a doctor from South Carolina, and who's actually one of those doctors, I suppose, who we would call a frontliner. Someone who goes to work and perhaps sees this all the time, and then took deep meaning from Baba's Murli for himself to become fearless in this regard and his practice of bodilessness. You know, this makes me feel so appreciative of the efforts that our family is making. And I would never have been aware of such efforts had it not been shared in the form of an experience. So actually, I'm really enjoying these experiences because it's really making me see something I hadn't seen before, something that was quite invisible. And I'm sure Sister Mohini is also appreciating it. So thank you, Brother Shratank. It was beautiful. Now, our homework for tomorrow. So tomorrow, it's December 1st. It's the beginning of the last month of this year, 2020. And I'm sure we all want to see the end of 2020. It has been such an eventful year. And so the title that we'll be working with is Supreme Teacher of Raj Yoga. So Baba is the Supreme Teacher of Raj Yoga. The elevated sanskara we will be working with is Raj Rishi, and Sister Mohini spoke about that. But just to give you an awareness, taking into consideration what Sister Mohini has said about Raj Rishi, so it puts us in an awareness from which we will do the checking and the changing. So the awareness will be the elevated sanskara of a Raj Rishi is to cultivate a strong divine character. And she says a Raj Rishi has wisdom, a wisdom of a higher kind. So to cultivate a strong divine character through achieving greater depths of purity. So Raj is the divine part of me, Rishi is the pure part of me. And when we combine them together, we get Raj Rishis. And I think that's also the double crown of the light and the jewel. So in the Murli, and these are of course teasers that are intended to take you deeper into what Baba is saying. So you pay attention to what he's saying, but by remembering that he's asking us to check our minds, and here are some of the tips that he gave us of how to do this. So the first one is you're going to check, do you ever think that you should pay a fee in return for the study? And if I'm thinking that, then Baba says, this is how I should change it. How could the father take any fees from children for this study? If a teacher's child is his student, he would teach him for free. Shiv Baba teaches you for free. So don't ever think that you are giving something to him. That to me was a punchline. But sometimes I could think that, so what, Baba? I'm giving you whatever I'm putting in your box. I'm entitled to whatever. So he says, don't think that you are giving something. Those are not fees. You don't give anything. You are taking a lot in return. And then the second, to check the intellect. That is my power to discern and then to decide. So check, are you able to apply the spiritual drill and follow the directions of the Father? At the beginning of the Murli, Baba is talking about this drill and how important, and of course the drill is for the intellect. And so the change point is the spiritual drill is Manmanabhav. That is attention, please. And the directions are, and it will be in the question and answer, you will find it there. The directions are A, consider yourself to be a soul. B, stay in remembrance of the Father. And C, claim your full inheritance. So that's the intellect's, that's what the intellect has to do tomorrow. And the third is the sanskara, which is Raj Rishi. And Baba is saying the process of becoming a sovereign Raj Rishi by becoming, so the process of becoming a sovereign Raj by becoming pure Rishi. And so how do I, when I check that, how do I change inside of myself? The Father is now teaching you in order to remove all your sorrows for 21 births and to return you to extreme happiness. You are Raj Rishis studying Raj Yoga for this. Your aim and objective are in front of you. You have been staying with Baba ever since he came, so that long period of time. You know that Baba is purifying you, and Raj Rishis, they study and they serve. Raj Rishis don't have any bondage, and Raj Rishis can travel anywhere. So these are the three things we'll be working with tomorrow using Baba's Murli. So good luck, and I'm sure you're going to have great fun going into all the different aspects. Om Shanti.
Shanti. Welcome to our Vikti journey. Today is our Monday. Monday, Somvar, Somnath Baba Day, Shiv Baba's Day. All relationships with the one Father. And today, what we will be doing is traveling to our unlimited sweet Madhuban home. So, before we get our Swaman for tomorrow, I would like to really thank Sister Gayatri. It's very, very, very good way of guiding all of us. We had been getting so much good feedback from all Baba's children that how much they are enjoying doing this chart, this homework. So, on behalf of everyone as a Vikti Parivar, we would like to give you a special thank you, Sister Gayatri, for being with us and guiding us every single day. And there are many more days for us to do our chat, and we are looking forward for that. Thank you. And now let's get our Swaman for tomorrow.
तपस्वी भी हो और राज अधिकारी भी, इसलिए तपस्वी राज तपस्या अर्थात राज अधिकारी बनना, तपस्या राजा बनाती। राज कोई ऐसा सभा में जो प्रजा योगी हो है, हाथ उठाओ जो प्रजा योगी हो, राजयोगी नहीं हो। है कोई टीचर्स कोई है आपके सेंटर पर, कोई प्रजा योगी है? कहलाते तो सब राजयोगी है। हाथ कोई नहीं उठाता प्रजा योगी में, अच्छा नहीं लगता ना। और बाप को भी फखर है, बाप दादा फखर से कहते हैं कि संगम पर भी हर बच्चा राजा बच्चा है।
Remembering Baba as the supreme teacher of Raja Yoga, let's all experience I, the Raj Yogi soul, am a Tapasvi Raj, the one who has a right to the kingdom.
Om Shanti. So these words are in Hindi. It's very, very beautiful words. So you can write down and learn these few Hindi words also. So Raj Yogi, Raj Rishi, Tapasvi, Raj means right, kingdom, the sovereignty. I, the Raj Yogi soul, am a Tapasvi Raj, the one who has the right to the kingdom. So as soon as we belong to Baba, as he is father, and as being a child, our right is right there. So we don't have to make any effort. We have the right. We just have to claim it. Okay, so this is our Suman. It's related to our chart. So we'll keep this awareness for tomorrow. And now what we will be doing is we'll remember Baba. We'll take drishti from Baba and also from Didi. And then we will travel all together to our Madhuban sweet unlimited home, Madhuban. So let's take these few moments all together, being in Baba's remembrance, merging Baba's love, and also remembering our unlimited Madhuban home, being there with our subtle presence, that itself is unlimited service as well. So let's do this unlimited service together. One more thing I would like to just mention to all of you, especially Saturdays when we do 1 hour bhatti, there is no volume, there is no sound. We are just doing in silence because we get many text messages that they are not able to hear, but actually there is nothing to hear. And especially also every day when we are doing meditation from 7:10 to 7:30 after Didi's commentary, when we are taking Baba's drishti, there is no sound. So that's there also we get many texts that they are not able to hear. But just for you all to know that there is nothing to hear at that time. It just be in silence, taking the drishti from Baba. Okay, now let's start and remember Baba.
We cannot physically go to Madhuban this year, but at least we are able to visit Madhuban. It really feels very, very good experience to be at our home, because now all the restrictions in India, nobody really is even allowed to go there. But our love is with Baba, our love is with our sweet home. So we visit the spiritually now, which we will keep doing for a while. Everyone, Om Shanti and good night. Some of you must have seen a sister translating. It's in Thailand. Many in India, Thailand, Malaysia, many countries, they translate. Hello, sister. Lovely to see you. Wow. Amazing the way we get connected. Welcome to Avyakti Parivar.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah,
indeed. Thank you, sister. We got so much benefit from you. Thank you.
Baba is taking care of us, right?
Yeah, that's right.
What's the time now there?
Now it's 8:30 in the morning.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
12 hours.
12
Yeah.
hours difference, yeah. Anyway, it's a good timings.